Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Broken Controllers podcast. Today, this is episode 0, and joining me today is the main host, Neko, followed by myself, RK, Knowk, and Leon. Today, we're just going to be talking about it's just some introduction stuff, like just about myself, about the others, what we do, hobbies, and just a background, and just to let you guys know who we are as people before maybe even going down to doing a lot of other content later in the future. Politics are not included. Let's not get into that.
Of course not.
So,
Of course.
Neko, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm the main host, Neko. But some reason I can't do the introduction because I'm fucking dense as shit somehow. And then I'm 17 years old. Yeah, it's underage. Fuck you. And then I build model kits, a lot of model kits. I draw, and then Knowk shits on my drawing a lot. And then I was the one who came up with the name and the idea of this podcast. And then first of all, that's it. Next up, you, Leon.
Alright, hello everyone. I'm Gamermario, also known as Leon. It's really difficult to say who I am. I'm from Singapore. I'm 17 years old as well. In fact, I think everyone here is 17, if I'm not wrong.
I'm 9.
No, isn't? Alright.
I'm
I'm very fond into modding controllers, and I'm really into rhythm games and fighting games because those are my childhood games. I also like taking a step into JRPGs, as those are also my favorite franchise. Like, for example, Persona 5 and Octopath Traveler. And yeah,
Incel.
what the fuck?
All right, no. Could you please introduce yourself?
I don't pummel people like 5 times when they're under 50. I don't do that shit. Someone might. Someone named Rkaider might, but I don't do that shit.
Is that your introduction?
Back to you, Rkaider.
Okay. So, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, this is in the context of a game called Smash Brothers Melee, which is a
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
which is a platform fighting game developed by Nintendo and released all the way back in 2001. And so basically, we're all mostly just a part of that community, having been playing the game for a various amount of times. And so, we decided to just get together and make a podcast just about ourselves and maybe even talk about a few games and stuff. And so I guess with introductions, I go by RK or Rkaider. Either one works. I don't know why we're saying our age. I guess that's
He also
relevant.
goes by Yetis.
And so
Yetis baby
basically, one of the things that I like to do is play RPGs. Not exactly JRPGs like Leon, but more so Western isometric RPGs like Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment, and the like.
Fallout
And also,
1.
no, not Fallout 1. I haven't played that. I did play New Vegas though. Great game, by the way.
Yeah, New
Great
Vegas is
game,
really
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the best Fallout games.
It is, absolutely, especially with mods, since without it, it's literally unplayable. But anyways, continuing on,
So it's not a good
I
thing.
also like to enjoy reading a lot of manga. I play a lot of fighters. I read a lot of novels, like actual just like normal Western fantasy novels. So like I'm currently reading Wheel of Time, and I also write.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
I'm currently just trying to write a short story, I guess, and reading some fantasy. So I guess that's just a little bit about myself. So I think for our first topic, we could talk a little bit about Melee.
Our
just
origins.
Melee
Or
or
our
origins.
Melee.
Yeah, I was thinking that we could just maybe touch on a little bit of like how we got into Melee since and like some other games that we might have played in the meantime. So I guess starting off with myself, I started actually playing Melee all the way back in 2017. I think I was originally a Smash 4 player, and I actually got into Melee because I watched HBox win EVO 2016. And so I actually managed to get a Dolphin build on my dinky little laptop, and basically just trained on 20XX on the 20XX mod all the way until like 2020 when NetPlays opened up. And the rest is pretty much just history, joining tourneys in Southeast Asia and basically just making friends and whatnot. And I guess moving on to Neko.
Yeah,
Neko's
Um,
not hosting this.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the main fucking host. You know that, right? But I can't just took the fucking spotlight. I'm supposed to be the main host.
Quick
But who cares? Yeah.
disclaimer: RK
So
is just a better host.
yeah, kind of. But I'm still the main host for
Better
you
quality
Yeah.
audiences. I don't care. So like, yeah, I am. Yeah, Neko. Yeah, and we all come from Melee, as Arcader said. I gathered up these people. We all come from Melee. I met them all on the SCA Melee Discord server, and they seem to be nice people. So I just added them to this podcast thing, which being this small niche thing, and then we're actually recording now for some reason. As Arcader said, yeah, I think I have the most experience in Melee here, but I'm the worst one out of all of them.
No, I'm the worst.
Nah, you are.
Yeah, actually, Leon's worse than me. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm the worst.
Yeah, I started playing Melee, and I was about like 7 or 6. Like my, as a casual player, of course, so I was 7 or 6 years old. But my dad did. The interesting thing is that my dad did play Melee, like back in the day when Tournament Go was still a thing, and he was there, I think. And then, yeah, he told me some shit like to understand more of things. I was like 9 years old, something like that. When I was like really into gaming, that I even knew how to do some like advanced shit like wave dash. Like I pulled out my first wave dash. I think I was like 8 or 9 years old. Like a really shitty wave dash, like a frame 6 wave dash, something like that.
Like your dad taught you how to how a wave
yeah,
dash works.
yeah. My dad literally fucking told me, showed me the controller right in front of my eyes. I was like, okay, press this and press this almost simultaneously, and you'll get it. And I pulled it off. And my dad was so happy that I fucking pulled off a fucking wave dash.
You,
Your
you
dad was
wave dash
like,
with L or R?
Yeah, I use R because if I use because like I don't know, my
Right.
hand muscles are
Same.
weird on my left hand. So if I use L, my thumb will hurt.
Okay,
As
many
with the
tangents. Do
motion.
you guys use 2 triggers or 1 trigger?
I
Depends.
use it depends. I use my left trigger mainly for tacking and dodging, while right for shielding.
I am
Same.
I am like only right trigger.
Like you never touch your
Oh.
left trigger.
I never touch my left trigger.
And
For
I
me,
use,
my left. For me, like if I move with thumbs and I try to use the left trigger, my muscles like was it tend to like strain each other or something like that. So I can't really use my left trigger a lot, but I do use my left trigger for teching.
But don't forget
Yeah.
that you're using a
Yeah.
pro controller.
Oh, yeah. So also one of the origins of the name, the Broken Controllers podcast, is because I fucking broke my GameCube controller, and that came into my mind. And then yeah,
Actually,
the
no.
GameCube, like,
Isn't the
yeah.
origin of our name just because we were struggling to find a name, and then we said.
Yeah,
men-
but seriously, before, yeah, I know,
no, but
but
like when Neko, no, like we were struggling, then Neko like suddenly
you
just
just
stopped broken
you
controller.
just shouted out broken controllers. You never said.
yeah, it might,
you
like,
never made
when
any
I thought
mention.
about that, yeah, I didn't mention it,
Just
but when I
look
thought about
under-
that, I thought about my Beckham controller.
I mean,
So,
to
I
be
thought
fair,
about it.
it was better than most of your other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, better than
that-
what you have. Nope.
Okay, cancelled if you used your.
I mean, to be fair, it's better than Spy Ninja Obama.
No, it's better than Neko's cringe podcast. That was what the original
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, that was no, that was a
very-
that was a placeholder
That was a
name.
placeholder. Yeah, it was.
know,
it
but
was. It was the
still,
placeholder.
It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
like I have no name. Yeah, and we still have no logo. One thing.
We
I
are
mean, we have two
we are-
artists, right? Nook and
We have
Neko.
yeah, Knowk and me,
Yeah.
but like Knowk made one. It's literally a fucking was MLG ripoff. So I gotta make a new one for that.
Yeah. It should be fine though. We should be able to like get one by the time this podcast is out. Actually, let's flash it
Yeah,
on
it should be.
screen. Yeah, we'll flash it on
let's-
screen.
Yeah,
like
we'll flash it
this
on.
way.
Let's pretend it's on the screen right now. Like yeah, Gamermario,
Yeah.
good luck with the fucking editing.
Yeah,
We're not
thanks.
paying you
Holy
shit,
shit.
bro.
That icon looks amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Oh,
that.
damn.
wow. Mad
Whoa.
props to
Very
the
nice.
artist. Okay, let's get back onto topic. Continuing on with basically just our origins from Melee. Nook, could you take it away?
Oh, we're
Right.
skipping. We're skipping
So-
Mario gaming then.
Oh no, I
no,
thought we were gonna go clockwise.
I don't care. So,
So
so
back in-
no, Mario gaming is not important.
Nah,
Back in,
I'm last. I have nothing interesting.
Back in 1989, I was like, I just found this treasure box in my backyard, and I opened it, and it just said, "Play Melee that comes out like 20 years later." Right?
But if we were to do the math, then wouldn't that be 12 years?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Isn't it 12 years? Melee
Melee
came out in
player
like
would be able to do
2001. I mean, if you're talking about like competitive Melee, then yeah, maybe it was 20 years later.
No,
Yeah.
competitive Melee did not start at 2008. It was like 2003.
6.
Oh, right,
Was that the
yeah.
prime?
No,
Like, I don't know.
2002, 2003. That was like Ken Isaiah.
Okay,
yeah, that
thanks,
was
nerd.
Elder Gods era. Was it
Oh,
Elder
yeah,
Gods? King of Smash, I guess.
Yeah, like speaking of which, my dad fought Ken once and he got bodied at his prime.
Yeah, that's cool story. Anyway,
Yeah,
Nook.
that's cool for you. No,
No-
go ahead.
And so yeah, so basically, and then after that, right? I was born in 2011.
So.
You're 10.
You're born in 2011.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
and for the record, if you guys are thinking, no, he's actually not British, he's Japanese.
Yeah. Actually, like
What?
we
He's
are.
not British. I don't know this as British. It just sounds European or some shit.
No,
No,
people
just
have been saying in the
Cambodian.
main server that Nook sounds British. So I
No, I'm
thought
just
that's the
Cambodian.
assumption.
That's
Yeah.
Cambodian English.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, he is Japanese, born and raised. But just
We're
has
gonna
really good
expose him.
English. I mean,
Oh shit.
we have like 3 Indonesians, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all
I mean,
Indonesian except no.
Wait, really?
I wouldn't
You're-
count
Yeah.
myself,
you're
to be
all
honest.
Indonesian?
Mario Gaming's biologically Indonesia.
Yeah, ethnically.
I mean,
Ethnically.
dude,
And,
I
I'm
know everything about
biology Korean, but I'm
Indonesia.
fucking Indonesian in soul. Shut up.
Yeah, so your nationality is Indonesian, but your ethnicity is Korean. Leon
My nationality is Korean as well, but like
Leon
I
is
don't know.
ethnically Indonesian, but nationality is Singaporean, and I'm Indonesian
Fucking
ethnically.
Singapore.
Nationality is Indonesian as well, but I'm currently residing in Singapore.
Illegal.
Yeah. So just for you guys wondering why I call myself Indonesian and Korean, it's because I just lived in Indonesia my whole fucking life and I just don't like to go to Korea. That's it.
I was just gonna skip over Leon.
I mean, Leon
Yeah.
said he doesn't want to
Okay.
say, so I mean, wait. So Leon, do you want to say stuff or
He's Mario Gaming, so
Leon? Okay, looks like Leon is. Oh, okay. Well, breaking
Okay,
news. Apparently,
Leon
Leon's
has
computer
blue
has.
screen.
Okay, looks like.
Leon has blue screen.
Okay.
Leon has blue screen.
Can I just say, Leon's computer has just crashed. Crashed, it seems. So, for the moment, he is currently out of commission. So I guess for now we could just talk a little bit about
Our
I
hobbies, I guess.
yeah, just our hobbies. Just go into more in depth. All right,
Yeah,
now I
exact-
guess in terms of hobbies, we can just start with you, Neko. Oh, looks like his.
Yeah,
just-
he's restarting his computer.
All right, Neko, please begin. You can just talk about whatever.
Yeah, as my hobby, I mainly play a lot of games. Mostly, yeah, because we're all gamers here. Yeah, funny. And like,
I mean,
yeah,
this is
I
called the
mostly,
Broken Controllers podcast, right? So of course.
yeah,
we're all-
literally it's about gaming. Yeah. Currently I'm playing a lot of Guilty Gear XX Accent Core plus R, or Accent Core short. And then yeah, I first fought Rkaider today, and like he won't stop spinning Tatami, so fuck you, Rkaider.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Gladly.
Dude, no sus, bro. No sus, no sus.
I mean, if you want to fuck me, that's all right.
Dude, no sus.
Really? You're just gonna do that in episode 0?
Hey.
Really?
Yeah, you just gotta do
I
that,
mean,
bro.
y'all
bro.
are- you're all
I said nothing for work, but this is out of hand,
Whatever.
bro.
Y'all
If you
are
want to-
saying fuck you. I'm saying let it happen.
Okay, we might want to edit that out, but okay. Yeah, I don't know, play some play some visual novels and yeah, Nekopara. I don't want to explain my history in Nekopara.
Spent too much.
So how many
Yeah.
times have you like undergone very heavy breathing during my playthrough of it?
I counted about 7-8 times per
yeah,
game.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I've been playing some single player games as well. One of them's Minecraft single player, of course, and then playing some Zelda games like Link Between Worlds on my 3DS, and then Ocarina of Time on my 3DS as well.
What are you playing right now?
The Zelda game currently I'm playing.
No, just like any game you're playing right now.
Currently I am trying to recomplete Pokemon White
Oh, Gen 5.
because it's my childhood
Wanna talk
game.
about-
'cause-
Want to talk about hobbies aside from games?
I mean,
yeah,
we-
let's try that.
I mean,
We're about to get into the section. We're about to get into the section.
okay.
Okay,
We can
okay,
save
okay.
the games thing for the later episode because it's gonna be its own
Episode
topic.
one's gonna be about it.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So as
It's gonna be
my
about
other hobby,
politics.
my other main hobby, I build model kits, mainly Gundam. Because other model kits like the cars and like stuff like ships and stuff, they don't really interest me because they don't got like articulation, engineering and stuff. Just basically just like put them together with glue. It's kind of boring, but Gundams don't even need glue because they snap on together and it's like fantastic articulation. They can pose it around.
I think you
I
need to
built
explain what
around-
articulation is.
Articulation is just basically how like joints bend and like how much they can move their joints, how much posing they can do. That's basically the articulation. If people don't know about it, and in my life, I've built around more than 100 Gundams. I actually lost count. It's more than 100 though. That's for sure. There you go. There you go, Spec.
I've returned.
Hey, you're
So-
back. Welcome back. We're just
Okay,
talking about Neko's hobbies, more specifically Gundam building.
For
Oh,
now.
I see.
Yeah. So
Well,
I built about more than 100 Gundams. I lost count after my 100th one, I think, around that.
wait, do you do custom paints with your Gundam?
Yeah, I do. I only made about 16 customs though, because
Oh,
I'm not really
right,
good with
right.
them. But like,
Oh.
when I do customs, I usually go all out. Like all I have, I've built a diorama using the HGUC New Gundam, and I think it's the HGUC, not HGUC New Gundam, it's the HG New Gundam and the HG Sazabi on the battle on Axis, just like in the movie Shar's Counterattack. And then that's one of my main works. My other main work is not the Elmeth one. I don't have an Elmeth one. The other one is the Gundam ground type in the forest, just like his like a knee in the water and stuff, like like an 8th MS team.
Like usually when you
Yeah,
like
we-
want to get started,
we-
which one
we
would you
do that.
recommend?
Which kit I recommend?
Yeah.
Currently the kit I recommend is the entry grade RX-78 because it's cheap as fuck and
To
it's
build. So
yeah,
like
and that and with at the entry
Oh.
grade, the good thing about it is that you don't need nippers for the entry grade, but other kits you do need nippers.
oh
So it's
right,
more-
yeah.
Yeah, so the entry grades are more consumer friendly because you don't need nippers for them. So I recommend that. And my latest build currently is the Gundam Astray Red Frame Kai. And what I love about this kit is that it has 2 fucking katanas for the Gundam. 2 fucking
Holy
katanas.
shit.
Oh,
Exactly. And the posing and the articulations is really fucking great. And it has a fucking gigantic sword for its backpack. How
Yeah,
fucking
that-
awesome is that?
That sounds sick. Too
Yeah,
fucking
it's
What,
sick.
they
really
have, like,
fucking
three
sick.
swords?
Yeah, and the
Is
sword
he
can
this
transform
like
into a fucking
green-haired
bow
pirate
gun.
guy?
No, there is a pirate Gundam though. There is a pirate Gundam. Yeah,
The
this is- there's-
green-haired pirate guy with 3 swords?
Oh no. But speaking of pirates, there is a pirate Gundam called the Crossbone Gundam.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Okay,
moving
Yeah.
on.
Moving on.
I'm not
We
gonna
can
spend a
save
lot
it
of time.
for
Like
yeah.
Gundam.
We can spend it at a later date. we could-
I'll just have another podcast, like solo podcast of myself, just
Okay,
explaining about the Gundams.
All right, Nook, do you have a hobby that you can talk for hours?
No.
really niche game. I don't know if you know it. It's a game called Melee.
So,
No,
I heard
I
of it.
don't.
What's
Please tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us
yeah.
about the game Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo
Wait,
GameCube.
It's weird because like you wear these like electric mouse costumes and turtle dinosaur costumes, and you punch each other.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Could you
I
tell
mean,
us
like,
more
if you
about
do
it?
wanna,
Very cool.
Tell us more about it.
And it's really competitive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
I mean,
Knowk
like,
and I are also into drawing, so let me just expose that real quick. And my art is shit compared to Knowk's.
Nook, please tell us
Actually
about your
don't.
drawing and your journey from it.
oh right, yeah,
Uh,
because you just started,
right,
didn't
so-
you?
Yeah, I just started. Got into it like 2-3 weeks ago, and pretty much just gave up. So I'm done with that. Moving
Shut
on.
the fuck up, bro. You just showed me a drawing today with the fucking hips missing on the girl.
Yeah, I give up. I stuck with it.
I guess I go next.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Go right
Mario
ahead.
Gaming.
Yeah, Mario Gaming. I'm really into controller mods, not just controller mods, but modding in general. Like
Didn't you
whenever
mod your sound voltage controller?
Yeah, I did mod my Sound Vortex controller. Actually, like I am looking to like mod it again in the future because currently the mod that I did was just the Chinese buttons, which are really like horrible. I want to change it to Sunwell square buttons, but the problem is like I can't really get a shipment right now cause yeah,
Current
That never
world
be.
event.
current world events, yes. And yeah. I mean, the easiest way that I could get into modding right now is like modding fight sticks and my GameCube controllers. Like fight sticks, like there's a lot of like different suppliers out there that like gives buttons, levers. And for controller mods, there's a lot of like suppliers out there. They make custom what parts for the controllers. Like they have like custom springs, tactile Z buttons, capacitor
Like
mod.
like fucking capacitors for like was it snapback capacitors and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things like, but I am in the future looking to start modding my Wii to be a portable, which is gonna take a while, but I hope I can get it done.
So
And we hope that
Nice.
Nintendo does not send you a letter of
wait,
cease and
so
desist.
in terms of modding, are you talking about just mostly software, or I mean, sorry, hardware mostly related to gaming, or is it like, do you have any other like modding hardwares that's like not related to gaming at all?
It's mostly gaming because I don't really know any other way I can mod stuff.
Why don't you
Like,
like mod like your gaming chair if you have one to be like a car or some shit?
The computer's
Well,
power
wait,
supply.
do you have plans on getting into like GameCube controller modding? So like, you know, making notches and stuff like that? Any plans for that?
not just wise, not really. I'm not really into those stuff. I'm more into the soldering side, the electronics.
So just like
'cause there's-
swapping out parts, you know, or
yeah,
like,
so
you know,
resoldering and all that shit.
mhm.
Like you know the Shanks GameCube Joy-Cons controller mod, right? Yeah,
Oh, you mean the one that doesn't fucking drift and shit? You mean that?
yeah, like I am like more into that sort of modding.
I
The
mean,
software
careful,
side.
bro. The Joy-Cons cost as much as a fucking Switch game.
Yeah, I know. Like
I tried
Joy-Cons are
modding.
expensive.
I tried modding mine, but like the battery caught on fire.
Yeah.
Like
I
legit,
guess
my
yeah.
battery caught on fire.
I guess other than modding, I'm also into anime collection. I have a huge anime collection in my room right now.
Like DVDs.
Not really DVDs. It's more of I have
Pirated,
manga.
Oh,
pirated amount, like pirated episodes of anime. You're like bunch of SSDs and shit, isn't it?
It's like no, it's more like I have a shit ton of posters, figurines, and I have some collectible Love Life collectible cards as well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's
just
nice.
yeah,
I have some of them too, but I don't. Yeah, we don't talk about it.
yeah. I guess that's all about my hobbies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TLDR, Leon's a tech, not tech, a modder and a, I don't know,
Collector, I guess.
collector, a collector or some kind of creep.
Now, in terms of Arcaider's hobbies, we're gonna have a separate episode for that.
Yeah.
That's gonna like take
Okay,
I-
so
Okay,
like
here's
I-
the
2
thing,
hours.
like,
We're
okay,
gonna have like
like-
a 2 hour
Rkaider,
episode.
no.
okay, so just for this episode, how many do you want me to talk about? 1, 2, 3,
One.
4, 5, 6.
One.
We give you a
Just
5 minute
one.
timer. We give you a 5 minute timer. Okay, I'm gonna put
Okay.
a timer on my phone. It's gonna take about
Okay,
5
yeah,
minutes.
I'm gonna get a
Okay,
5-minute timer.
so
right now.
I guess to create some variety, I'll talk about mechanical keyboards, and for my second hobby, I'll talk
Any
about.
variety. We just talked about modding.
No, I'll talk about mechanical keyboards, and I'll talk about my book collection. All
Not
right.
your book collection, please. No.
Okay.
Alright,
So.
okay, your 5 minute. Okay, your
we've all
5 minute.
started to do that.
Okay, your 5-minute timer.
Okay. Why
starts.
5 minutes? Why 5 minutes? At least give me
I
that.
don't. Okay, we'll give you 10 minutes. How about that? Is 10
Okay,
minutes better?
That
Alright.
works. That works for me.
Now 10 minutes starts
I
now.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
go
basically
take
talking
a
about mechanical
shower.
keyboards right now. So I actually got into it all the way back in I think all the way back in 2018. I was introduced to it by a friend, a roommate of mine, a former roommate of mine,
He's
in my
rapping,
dormitory,
holy
and
shit.
basically, I basically got my first keyboard from a few orders from Taobao from China. And with the help of my friend who soldered it, we got my first keyboard on a budget of around $100 to $200 ish.
Wait, what switches was it?
I had box reds from Kaihua, KO box reds, I mean, and
Oh.
I had a 60%. It was very, very simple 60%, and it's served me, I think, from 2018 to 2019 ish. I would say. One day, I think in late of 2018, I joined a mechanical keyboard meetup here in Singapore, and I actually I joined a raffle and actually managed to win a free keyboard from that area, and it was a hot swap HHKB Tofu from KBD Fans that uses vintage box whites. So like before the retooling, so like the stems were a little bit big, and they had XDA keycaps from KBD Fans as well.
Wait, one question.
Yeah,
question.
what's up?
Have you tried the drop pandas though?
I actually have drop pandas. I use them in my current keyboard right now.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
So
They're really nice though.
I
Really
picked up drop pandas before their price increase, so I managed to map myself a set, and after I swapped out the switches for my pandas, which are much more preferable, I got new keycaps from a seller who gave me some MT3 Dev TTY keycaps in Elven. So Elven as in like the Lord of the Rings, because I'm a massive fantasy nerd, so of course. And it's currently been my main keyboard ever since. And not too long ago, I think about last year, I actually got a few lubricant from Switch Mod and actually lubricated my Holy Pandas. And so with more to be specific, Tribosis 3203 lubricant, which are really good for tactile switches as they pretty much accentuate the tactileness of a switch and basically make it extra smooth. And so that's just the keyboard I'm using right now. And I'm actually working on buying parts for a brand new keyboard that I got. This time it's a KBD 67 V2's soldered version because they have...
Wait, would you rather have soldered or a hot swappable?
Personally,
keycap?
now soldered.
For me, hot swap always. I don't know.
so
I
you
like hot swaps better.
I prefer soldered mostly because just like recently playing like games, like especially if you like to switch out and mod your keyboard often, the holdings in the in the plates and in like the switches themselves can very easily wear out, and so sometimes the switches will come off very easily, and it's just really annoying to have to put it back all together again. So I just prefer soldering just because, for one, I just enjoy soldering in general, and two, it's just I don't have to worry about keys suddenly falling out of my keyboard and then having to put it all the way back together. And this is most especially prevalent as a problem when I play Warframe, because in the game you can do what's called a bullet jump where you press V to crouch while running and then spacebar, and I basically just slide my thumb from V to space.
What is wrong, dude? Why do you use V to dude?
Why? What's wrong with you?
What is just with control and space? Just two keys.
It's just more easier because I can slide my finger. So
Dude, control and space
That's
is easier. You just
literally
oh, dude,
Keyboard's breaking.
what is wrong with you?
I can hear I can hear the keyboard.
okay, so the V key is set to press crouch, and the control key is set to hold crouch. So
Why do you even need hold crouch? Just hold the fucking key.
yeah, I know.
No. I get what Rkaider means. Like sometimes I prefer having a hold crouch button instead of
You
holding
guys
the
are
key down.
weird.
Wooden in.
No, I mean like
Not that kind of game.
Okay, so going back to my topic, yeah, and basically every time I would do that, sometimes the keys would just fall off and it'd be a pain to put back. So I'm just preferring soldered. So basically this new kit, it's using Gateron ink blacks that I've lubricated with Crytox 205 grade 0 that I also got from Switch Mod, and I'm actually going to pimp them out with for keycaps a GMK Hyperfuse that I managed to nab off on Carousel for actually quite a bit of a bargain. So
you got it from Carousel?
yeah, a guy was selling
Bruh.
them for like about
Damn.
100. So
Lucky.
yeah, they're usually worth like aftermarket. They're usually worth around like 200, 300. But I managed to get this for around 100. So that was really good.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
a good deal.
it is really good.
100%.
And so like I'm still missing stabilizers, but once I get GMK screw-ins or some other form of screw-in stabilizers, then I can start building the keyboard. And I think this probably
Do you use stabilizers like the normal shit that Cherry stabilizers and
no,
stuff?
those aren't screw-in. They're like clips that you basically just
I
put
know,
into your
that's
plates.
better for me because I don't like go for the soldering and screws and stuff.
No,
There's
no,
more
but the problem with like push-in stabs is that like they
I
can
know,
they can
they get
very
loose.
easily break and
What's
get
the
loose.
timer at right now?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Okay, basically
mate.
that's my mechanical keyboard. I guess going into my book collection, I ever since I think all the way back in 2017, and since then I think I've been an avid fan of just collecting books and reading them because for one I just absolutely adore reading. Now I myself
Wait,
am a-
I did forget to like ask you like which like that time like back then when we were in another Discord call like which was your favorite fiction series?
Probably Wheel of Time at the moment, which is what I'm reading right now. Maybe even Discworld, which is also really good. I mean, both of these are fantasy series since I really like to read fantasy. And I mean, on top of that, I also do have weep shit, but I think like we've already talked about that a little bit, so I don't want to
Yeah.
overblow that too much. So I'll try to talk more about Western fiction. So I'm a massive fan of anything fantasy, really. I'm currently reading
Wait.
through Wheel of Time. I'm currently in book 4, and I'm also currently reading through Discworld. I'm reading through the City Guard
Rebel World.
storyline. Discworld is really good. You should give it a try if you want some like
Yeah, it's
very
like-
witty fantasy.
So they like
Uh,
put 4 elephants on a turtle and they put a disc on top.
Yeah. And basically,
And that's like the whole concept.
in my, I mean, that's just the setting, not the actual concept of the stories themselves.
I'm
But
joking.
like in my collection, I also have Mistborn and like Storm Light Archive, so some Brandon Sanderson stuff. I also have.
Do you have any Tom Clancy shit?
No, I'm not into Tom Clancy
no,
stuff.
Tom Clancy
That's
is not really.
It's not
interesting.
fantasy. It's not fantasy.
I know.
It's more of like
Patriot
realism.
games, I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
was Patriot games is kind of meh for me. You wanna read it?
I'm not really.
I'm
interested.
also like if I'm reading books, I'm also more into fantasy. Like my favorite series of all time for fiction wise is Keeper of the Lost Cities. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a really good
No.
series.
Or me,
Yeah.
it's the Da Vinci Code series.
Is it
I
is
know.
it young adult or is it like adult fantasy?
I guess more of young adult.
I see.
So not the 50
I haven't
Shades shit.
really followed a lot of YA stuff. Like a lot of the stuff I read are mostly like really long, heavy. Like for example, Wheel of Time. It's like 14 books, and each book has like 700 to 1,000 pages on average. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
and
how about this? That's light novel. That's not Monogatari.
you want me to talk about Monogatari?
No,
No, no. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
We'll save the anime shit for the next episode. For another
Just a
episode,
quick
alright?
recap.
We'll
I'm
have
a massive
one
fan
episode
of
like yeah.
like just a super quick. I'm just a massive fan of Nisho Ishin. I just think his writing is absolutely genius and super clever, and he's also one of my favorite authors alongside like the Western authors I mentioned. And just for those listening, I actually have not read anything Brandon Sanderson yet. I'm still currently reading through Wheel of Time, and once I'm done with that and a bit of Discworld, then I'll get into his Mistborn stuff before moving on to Stormlight. Just to
Is he
anybody.
speaking English? He
Yep.
is speaking English, right?
Yeah, he is. I mean,
No, he
Okay.
this
hasn't
is
been speaking English
I'm actually even writing my own fantasy stuff right
10
now.
minutes ago.
I haven't seen any of it, but according to like what people said, it was good. So
I
Good
haven't
on
really
him.
shown much to be honest, so I mean,
Yeah.
there's not really much else to say. It's been a project I've been working on since March of 2020, I think. So I've been working on it for around 1 year, and I've only just recently started the first draft of my short story anthology. But like before, it was mostly just a world building document. Because I've actually mostly been
Too much
inspired
world
by
building.
yeah,
document was
I've mostly been
huge.
inspired by D&D, Dungeons and Dragons to be exact. I played it with a couple of my schoolmates back in 2018, and yeah,
I
For
feel
me,
like
D&D is not fun unless it's cyberpunk. For me, that's it. For me,
I
don't really
find
like.
D&D to be incredibly fun.
yeah.
Mostly
Like
just
here's the
'cause-
thing, like I want to play D&D, but I can never get a group that actually stays for an entire campaign. Like
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
neither, I
usually
don't have friends
campaigns, depending on
anymore.
how long they are, can usually last from just one adventure to like 10-year long epics. You know, so it all depends on the
Yeah.
kind of
For
group.
me, like I think D&D, my friends, you do like the stupidest shit, like like revive Jesus and stuff, like that kind of stuff.
No,
Like
but like
we make up like the most ridiculous shit, like kill. I cannot say who, like kill like some historical figure that was evil or something like that. I don't know.
But well, I mean, it depends on the DM and the kind of setting that they
Yeah.
put your characters in,
Exactly.
right? Because, like, for example, in my world, or at least in one of my campaigns, we basically did like a very simple thing where we, if I recall, stopped a like a cult scientists from trying to and prevent a creature known as a false hydra from basically slowly killing a town of people. And it was like some incognito sort of style campaign adventure where they all went down through this labyrinthian cave zone area and
That
killed
sounds
a bunch of
interesting. Holy shit.
yeah. And
For
because the
for
false
me, like I
hydra
had a
false hydra is a creature, if you guys didn't know, that is a creature that has multiple heads that go out of ground. It has a main body, but it nobody has really ever seen it. And when it sings, you basically cannot perceive it in any way, shape, or form. And when it wants to eat someone, it has to stop singing. But when it eats the person, everybody who knows that person loses their memory of it. So it basically is a creature that makes it impossible to perceive it. And when it eats its victim, everyone forgets about the person themselves. And they'll even like reason why like they have a person's belongings or stuff like that as being like something else. They won't even
Yeah.
realize it that a person's gone.
For me, in my D&D campaign, like one time was like I like Gundam inspired, like the Gundam timeline inspired. Was it D&D campaign? So like conflicts and shit, like really complex ones. And we actually made a set timeline on like how technology would advance. Like as turns progresses, like we reach like turn 15 something like that. Technology would advance, and we have like more access to like bit smaller reactors, and like we can like develop our own mobile suits. Like
Yeah.
So
But
it's
you-
like
the problem
like
with like things like that is that you'd have to
I
develop the
know. There are problems
different
about it.
stat blocks and
Mhm.
item
I know.
descriptions. So
because
That's why
like
we take about like an hour and a half just setting it up, like
Because
timeline
it's-
and stuff, and like
yeah,
and,
it's
and
more
because
of
and
a
because you can even slow down the progress of things.
also, Neko,
because
one question: when it comes to your own D&D campaigns, have you ever done what's called a session 0?
is it like planning or like
No.
pre?
A
No,
session
it's
0
not-
is literally just a get together just for the DM to explain like the tone of story, the main premise,
Oh, that.
like characters.
Yeah, we
and
do
stuff
that.
like
We do that. I never knew it was called the. Looking was it session 0? I just said I just do it, and like one time it took about
So I'm
4 hours
so-
setting the timeline up.
So now,
and we had like
now I'm confused on why you're complaining. Cause like, were the people like joking around? Was that like a part of the tone that the DM wanted to have the game in, or is it like completely just off tangent?
I don't
no,
think
I
he
have
was
two groups. I have
complaining,
two
though.
groups. I have the one serious
mean,
group,
that-
and the other one's like
sounds
literally
quite
like
fun.
meme D&D.
Because we do have a
And
lot
this-
of funny stories, right? Because like in my campaign, we also operate on rule of cool.
We're not gonna.
Rule of
Are we
what?
gonna get into
Rule
this?
of
Are
cool.
we?
Oh right, yeah.
Are we gonna get
Basically,
into this?
if you can, if the players can figure out a way to solve a problem that is really cool and like jaw dropping, you can pretty much just forego all rules and just do the cool thing.
Like let it
Oh.
be part of the story.
Yeah,
I guess.
and pretty much one time, they were fighting a red dragon and they had an unbreakable arrow and create water, and a guy basically reasoned that okay, if create water is made inside a open container, then I can reason that an unbreakable arrow has a tiny little hole imperfections inside them, and I will count those as containers because it's like a slight dip. And basically, if I were to create water inside those holes, it would create like an infinitesimally large amount of pressure and blast everything to smithereens. And so we basically did that and absolutely
What-
demolished the dragon.
One shot.
Yeah,
for
one
me,
shot.
that's
Didn't even
a situation
exist.
like that. Like, I just say for me, like we had like access powers and stuff, and like for my D&D campaign, the Gundam one, like we had someone drop a fucking man-made asteroid on Earth just like a charge counterattack, and by that we purposely slowed down the development or like the technological advancements in the Earth side and the space colonies, so they could like go way faster, and then like later on in the what was it? The campaign, like space colonies were like literally like taking over Earth and stuff, and like coming back. It's like back and forth. The campaign was like 48 hours long.
Okay. Well, I mean, then talking about D&D gets me thinking. Would you guys be interested in doing a special episode of just us playing D&D, like IDM, and we have 3 players playing through like
We
a
could do
I
that.
can
Yeah.
do that. We can do that. We have to end this anyways. We have to end this section because it's getting too far.
Yeah, we're getting
that's
too
alright.
I think we can just
yeah.
like
Like
put out the last
the only
15 minutes.
D&D I actually agree to play on for me is even though I'm sorry I'm being selfish. It's just me D&D and the Gundam shit, like technological advancement
So
shit.
what if
That's
it's
the only one
like
I should play.
what if it's like slightly steampunk, slightly semi-futuristic
No,
fantasy?
no. I'm
No?
sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm strict on my D&D shit.
So you're never even open to trying out something?
Yeah, I don't, cause like the Gundam shit and the meme shit like captured my fucking heart. That like I don't want to try other things, cause like the Gundam shit was so fucking fun. Like deciding
Yeah,
who's
but that
like
doesn't
at
mean you
that
can
time
just keep
who's gonna
playing other
start.
stuff,
Like
right?
I know, but just my mind just says like it is boring and like just refuse to play. So I don't really want that to happen. So sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but alright. We should segue into another segment. This is getting too sidetracked.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Only 2 minutes above 10 minutes. So total of 12
Are
minutes.
gonna be punished with I don't
I
know
think.
buying all of us Steam games.
No thanks.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Just cut that
Yeah.
12 minutes out.
Okay, comment down below how should we punish Rkaider?
Well, I mean, I don't think.
Nah, we
we
don't
don't
need
even know if we're
punishment.
gonna get comments. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
know.
then, like
We'll go to
asking the
YouTube, though.
comments, that it's you're never gonna get any like proper answer. It's all just gonna be dumb shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
typing in like kill him or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Alright,
drink
what's
a gallon of bleach or
Okay,
some
okay, okay.
shit.
Next segment. Next segment.
Well, what else is there to talk about? We've already introduced ourselves, and
we have
like
to now we're gonna talk about like what the podcast is gonna be in the future and month end melee, of course. We can't forget about that.
okay.
Alright,
So,
yeah.
who should introduce it? Should I or should any of you?
I should.
Neko-
I
Neko should do it.
Okay.
Main
Because
host.
I have the most idea of it.
Alright.
Okay, so we have this thing called month end melee. It's a fixed schedule podcast thing that happens every end of the month, and then we'll be doing like documentation or like we will discuss about the melee scene in the SEA region, legacy, or like interviews or anything like that. So and we're gonna be uploading this to r/SBM. So it may be one of the first, or like it may be like a key part on documenting the SSBM scene of the SCA region.
And East
So-
Asia.
And East Asia, of course, because the scene over here, except Japan, isn't that large compared to like America, Japan, or like
We
or
are
the
actually
PAL
like
region.
really small.
Really small. Only like
We
this.
typically
we
only
call it this-
like from regions like Cambodia, Singapore, Philippines, Korea,
Japan.
Japan, and stuff like
Indonesia.
that. Indonesia. We only get around
Indonesia.
20 to 30 players on average for our like weekly
Tournaments.
tournaments. Yeah, even our like
Weekly, monthly. Even our
bi-weekly
biggest
tournaments.
ones are like peak at 50, right? Most
no,
like,
no, no,
at
no, no,
max
no, no, no. Our peak is
You know?
like at best is 30-ish.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah,
But like including a lot of the Japanese.
even
players.
including Japanese players, it peaked at 30. Like around that number, like 30, 35-ish.
Like
Yeah, so-
ironically, we actually have like a lot of players in the server, but like not a lot of them are active.
Which
Mhm.
is really
Ironic.
unfortunate.
Yeah. If we had
Yeah,
more active players, it would be cool. But unfortunately,
Like if you
we
go to
don't.
the server, like in the voice chat, see, it's just us usually.
It's
and some
usually
other
just us
people.
and a couple
But
of
we also have
others.
figureheads like Extra Char who will appear in our first month and melee episode, and also
Yeah.
Yetis Don't Exist, who is also a great player himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, they'll be explaining about the legacy and like the upbringings of the SCA Melee Discord server and SCA Melee scene in general, because they're one of the key figures in like our
Yeah.
scene. We
Like
can't-
they're the
like,
key figures in like upbringing the scene in the first place. So we
yeah,
really
without
have to
them, we
like
won't
thank
have our
them for
scene,
it.
so like we have to thank them too. So the first episode, we're gonna tackle a big topic about the legacy and the upbringings of the SCA Discord server and the SCA scene.
And other than Mun and Melee, like our usual podcast will usually cover a wide variety of topics.
Yeah, and also just only the four of us are. We also have two more co-hosts, or the host as a whole. We have two more of them, but they can't join us for today due to their personal reasons. So like they're gonna rotate with each other, and like you can see who's gonna join in next time. So we can have different members every time, but they're fixed members like me and Rkaider. So
Yeah.
like yeah, so you can have
I
more
will
variety.
be
of, like,
I will
opinions
be
and stuff.
like somehow I will be somehow like involved in like every episode
Yeah, you can
since
vote.
I am
It out. I don't know.
since
so,
I
yeah.
am editing the shit.
And then first of all, episode 1 teaser. We are going to be talking about our favorite hobby, which is gaming
Wait,
or
again?
gami.
So
I don't know,
basically, the
gaming.
format of episode 1 is that we're going to be following something similar to Trash Taste Podcast, which is a completely separate podcast, where we're basically going to be creating a 2x2 grid of our favorite games. So just 4 squares of our favorite games, and we'll just be discussing whether we agree with each other's tastes, why we like the games, maybe even a bit of our history of like how we got into the game itself, and
Blame each other a bit as well.
and
like,
these are, by the way, excluding
how we
Melee.
despise
So
your
complete.
yeah.
Wait,
So
what?
maybe
No.
we might even shit on each other for our game tastes. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
Oh no.
We have to exclude Melee because we already have like a dedicated section to it every month.
Wait,
see.
no, do you have a question?
Well, no, I don't know any other games than Melee.
Oh,
I mean, you just
Yeah.
talk about games in your childhood, like games that you just played and
Yeah,
remember.
let's say you play like Angry Birds or some shit.
Like, yeah,
Right,
that's all
Angry
right.
Birds.
Like, it doesn't
yeah,
have
that's
to,
alright. Yeah.
doesn't
like,
have
we
to.
made-
Angry Birds is actually a game.
My favorite game, Angry Birds.
I mean, it's just pick any game that you remember from your
Physics engine
childhood.
in 2015.
we
we'll
can
see.
just talk
We'll
about
see
them.
what happened. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see what
we'll see.
happened. Yeah.
I think other than that, like, is there anything else you guys want to say before we
mean,
conclude?
I mean, we can conclude. We got pretty much the episode 0 out of the way. Our introduction.
We made some
Our-
jokes along the way. We called
our
Rkaider a
hobby.
nerd.
We
Everything's yeah,
my computer crashed. Everything
Nothing
happened.
else.
yeah,
pretty-
everything happened. Yeah, such a trip, bro. It's only like an hour or some
Don't-
shit. Like, it's even an
Dude,
hour.
Don't
Yeah,
cut
it's an
out
hour.
that first part. That first part was hilarious.
The first
You mean
part.
you mean the part where like fucking yeah, we think or take 3 or some shit, right? That one.
Yeah, yeah,
might
the
be
whole
a
thing.
might be a separate video. Either that
Like,
or
we-
at the end of this
Come
video.
on,
Yeah,
include
or you
it,
can like
include it.
compile the videos together and make a
include
behind the
Yeah.
scenes one. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Dude,
we'll think what to do about it.
Dude, if any part is gonna be behind the scenes, it's Arcade talking about his keyboard.
Yeah,
Nah, we'll include it.
and behind the scenes. Yeah, about me eating
I
wood.
think you guys are underestimating the restraint I have when it comes
Yeah,
to like, being recorded.
I know. I
Okay,
know
we
what
didn't-
the restraints
okay, okay, there. We didn't ask how much you're restraining, and we didn't want you to unrestrain yourself. One thing.
So
I mean,
Hours
okay.
over 9,000.
which is it?
8,000.
Bro,
I
yeah.
mean, like it's more like it's fine. We'll cover that later. Cover that in the future. Like
yeah,
arcade, we can, maybe
your yeah, we'll have
hobbies,
to play your podcast just for you, so you to be in the spotlight. and
Actually,
not
right,
keep sleeping or eating popcorn in the background.
I
How
think
about
it's
that?
actually no. I think it's actually a good idea. Like each of us have our own individual specialized episode, like about ourselves.
Mario gaming special. He's boring for an hour straight.
I mean, I'm struggling to like understand how Knok's gonna have his own episode, considering how little he
Alright.
talked.
Yeah, you're just gonna have Knok dance in front of the camera for an hour.
we'll figure shit out. Like if
Yeah,
it
we'll
does
figure
happen, we'll
shit out.
figure we'll
Yeah.
figure shit out.
Let's hope I have something.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
say I
this-
have like
yeah.
5 or more like untold hobbies. So
Yeah, I
think
have
I'll
a-
get,
I
I'll,
also have a
They
lot
can have an
more.
episode on that.
I'll
it
get, I'll
can-
get to those someday in the
I
future.
don't know. Like Knok can talk about his depression in this episode. I guess I don't know.
What the
It's-
fuck?
Okay, let's not go
Alright,
there.
let's
Let's
not
not go
go-
there.
let's not
Okay,
go there.
edit that out. Edit that out. Edit that out.
All right.
Okay, so I guess that concludes the first episode 0 of the Broken Controllers podcast. Glad
Yay.
you, thank you so much for listening if you managed to make it this far, and hope that you can tune in for next week.
And please remember, I'm the main host here, and Arcade to the spotlight.
Oh, I mean,
Yes.
we're gonna rotate main hosts every episode, so that doesn't really matter. You're
Wait,
just
what? Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I'll
are-
just
I
call
don't
just
know.
call myself the CEO then. Who cares?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
It's not okay. Neko's the CAO. He's on the main host.
okay. So are we having workplace hierarchy now?
I guess.
I guess.
All right. Should that conclude everything? Are we guys all done here?
Yeah, we're all done.
Alright.
Yeah, that should be it.
All right. Thank you
Um,
everyone for listening. Hope you have a great
yeah.
day. I'll see you guys
Stay
all next
crusty.
week.
Yep.
Stay crusty.
All right. Bye guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.